This is the Zeekr 001, built by a Chinese traditional automaker called Geely. It's comfy, it's spacious, and its overall design is very adorable. As a result, it became one of the best-selling electric sedans in China. Well, if you ignore the fact that it is not technically a sedan. I thought this is the best Geely can do on its SEA Haohan platform, but some engineers from Lotus, which was acquired by Geely years ago, thought they could bring up to its full potential by turning it into an SUV, and this is what they came up with. This is the Lotus Eletre. And yes, this ultimate sporty electric utility vehicle with a 900 plus brake horsepower and a price of €160,000 has a very humble beginning. Interestingly, in 0 to 60 acceleration, the Eletre S with 612 brake horsepower was even beaten by the Zeekr 001 that has only 544 brake horsepower. And that is why it became a laughingstock to many keyboard warriors in China. But can you really judge an EV only by its acceleration? With this question in mind, I headed to Shanghai International Circuit. I'm Harris, you're watching Mad EV. Yes, electric car does accelerate faster, but it's completely rubbish on racetrack. This is a stereotype that many people have about EVs. Indeed, the heavy body, limited cooling ability, lack of power in higher speed, creating a huge gap between internal combustion engine when driving aggressively. Having said that, this Eletre certainly closed this gap. Firstly, it's the acceleration. The gear ratio was tuned to focus more on high-speed acceleration, which is the exact reason why it can't do faster in 0 to 60. But when driving on a higher speed track like this, it can still go all the way to 120 miles an hour without losing any power. And just like the Porsche Taycan, the R Plus version with more power was equipped with a 2-speed AMT gearbox to balance acceleration in different speed ranges. Secondly, it's the air. As we all know, Lotus knows what it is doing when it comes to aerodynamics. With 7 sets of air ducts and a series of wing panels, the car has more downforce and braking power, while more importantly, carrying away heat. In that afternoon, all the Electres were running non-stop, but none of them suffer from power limitation or brake failure from overheating. Lastly, it's the handling. This is where Lotus shines. The Eletre is a very intelligent car, with dual-chamber air springs that can alter the height and suspension stiffness, CDC suspensions that can adjust the damping according to the surface, active anti-roll bars that can reduce the body roll, and the rear wheels that even have active steering function. However, even with all the electronic control systems, I did not feel disconnected with the car. It does not have the so-called electric feel that loathed by many car journalists. The steering and roll feedback is very clear. The body attitude when cornering is very natural, and the steering is sharp and very accurate. On racetrack, it's just like a traditional performance SUV, only faster. I have to say that this is exactly how I imagine a communication with a car should be, not sitting on the seat, talking to the infotainment. But of course, these are not enough. As a good driver's car will only attract a few customers. After all, not everyone willing to spend this amount of money for a toy loves driving, or can drive. So apart from the excellent vehicle dynamics, a luxury car should have first-class design, materials, craftsmanship, and all the latest geeky electric stuff. And this is when Geely came in. Compared with the go-kart interior look of the last generation Lotus, this Eletre has drastically improved materials, craftsmanship, and comfort. It even has separate seats with all the luxury features as optional extra. Although the back space is not that big, as a luxury performance SUV, it's acceptable. After all, luxury is wasteful in nature. On top of that, the electronic and intelligent features are also top-notch. It has an 800-watt architecture for fast charge, 4 LiDARs for environment sensing, 2 A155 chips for a super smooth OS, and 2 NVIDIA Orin X chips for more advanced ADAS functions in the future via OTA. To be honest, this level of intelligence is rather basic for Chinese new forces like XPeng, Li Auto, and NIO. But for Lotus competitors such as Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, and Aston Martin, the software capability of this Eletre is ahead of them by miles. Which means with this Eletre, Lotus is basically giving its target customers a peek into a whole new world. At this point, some may argue that, how can Lotus make such a filthy stuff like this? It's too big, it's too heavy, it's too intelligent, it's too luxurious, and it's too SUV. They are throwing away their heritage and defying their ancestors. Well, calm down everyone, because in my opinion, during this whole electrification period, the fact that this Eletre is what it is right now is exactly Lotus's chance to pass on the Lexus. Or is it? Do you really think this is the only way for Lotus to survive? Or is there any other possibilities? Let me know in the comment. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with your friends. After all, your support is what drives us to keep on. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.